It's the show that's moving fast. It's called The Captain and the Real Deal Podcast with our brother Top Gun, our flight engineer. We're talking Vikings and Hawks, man, the tip of the spear, because we float past clowns with the greatest of ease. They just buckle down to their knees with the grip of a pit bull locked on the mic. We'll be tearing it up night after night. I'm Captain Luke, an operator. I could never be a faker, and I'm serving you lyrics better than a damn waiter. Rhyming on this microphone, and I just never am alone with Big Gold and Top Gun. You know we full grown. Can you hear my tone? I'm in the podcast zone, giving you a taste of my microphone. The homie by my side, he will make you glide. So Big Gold, slice and dice and bring this party inside. Cut it up, B Gold. We get the call with the ball and we're ready to maul. There's no competition, we will never fall. Ball could be in the air or for that 9 route. I shake and bake at the line of scrimmage and I'm out. And off to the house with 6 more for the squad, generating the speed of a NASCAR hot rod. On arrival, the 12s go mad. The opposition got the Emerald Nation is glad. So brace yourself for the show that's the most. While B Gold is spinning, I'm one of your hosts. We also got the Real Deal who makes his cameo with unfiltered thoughts that'll jam you, bro. And our technician, aka Top Gun, he'll test his skills for fun, and he's never on the run. I'm Captain Fook, unfadable, just like the Real Deal. The bigger the headache, the bigger the pill. That's a shout out to the homie George Clinton, the masters of the funk, yo. That's my opinion. So in 2022, and it's season 2, Captain Fook and the Real Deal are ready for you. If you're ready for us, there's no time to discuss. It's about that action, y'all. So get your butt on the bus, because the Captain and the Real Deal are ready to go. And if you are too, then let's start the show, because it's the Captain and the Real Deal Podcast. What's it called? It's called the Captain and the Real Deal Podcast. All right, then let's start the show.
Soldiers, 12s, and all you football fanatics. Welcome to another episode of the Captain and the Real Deal Podcast. On today's episode, them guys will bring you all the latest news and information for their respective teams, the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Damen und Herren, it's time for the podcast featuring Captain Fook and Billy Gold, aka The Real Deal. This is the only place that's talking Hawks and Kings, but to be specific, we're talking Seattle Seahawks and Minnesota Vikings. So strap up. We're taking you on a fantastic voyage, unlike any you've ever been on, so sit back and get ready to set sail to the emerald-rich lands of the Seattle Seahawks and the treasure-filled valleys of the Minnesota Vikings, with your hosts, Captain Fook and Billy Gold, aka The Real Deal. Let's get it.
And what about the 12s? Welcome So the Week 9-10 recap episode of the Captain and the Real Deal podcast after our bye week. We got a lot to cover today. I'm Billy Gold, along with my co-host, Captain Vuk, and the Maverick. I saw the new movie on the way back on the plane. Our production engineer, Mike Top Gun Cruz. We got another great episode in store for you today as we're going to recap the Week 9 and 10 matchups for our respective organizations and then preview the Week 11 matchups as well. As always, I suggest you fill up your solo cup, sit back, and get ready to keep on keeping on another fantastic voyage. Cap, you ready to roll?
Captain.
Sicher, ich bin sehr gut und sehr fertig. Wir haben nach Deutschland gegangen und wir haben das Spiel nicht gewinnen, aber es war sehr Spaß. We got a lot to talk about, B. Gold.
I was going to say, what you say.
We got a lot to talk about. Let's get in.
All right, so let's get right to it and start today with the recap of our teams. We have 2 games for each squad here, so I'm going to roll through the first one. You get yours, and then we'll bounce to the second week.
Rock and roll.
All right, Vikings recap against the Commanders.
Woo, let's go.
I was on a road trip. That's why we had a bye week. I arrived in Aruba on the taxi ride over, turned on my phone and saw the Vikings were up 7-0. Nice start. Arrived at the resort, and our room was not ready, and I was not happy. Convinced the family to go get wings at the Beach Bar Carlitos right next door where they showed all the games. When we got there, the place was packed. No
Good.
tables available.
Football.
We were starving, so we went to another place, which of course had no TVs. All said and done, I didn't get to see the first half. By the time we ate and got the room, my phone showed it was the fourth quarter and the Commanders had taken a 17-7 lead. Headed back to Carlitos by myself. Didn't give up hope.
Can't do that.
And saw Greg Joseph finish off a stalled drive with a field goal to cut the lead to 17-10. Frustrated that they did not score a TD, I went back to the room to make sure the family was settling in. Ran back to Carlitos and just missed the Harrison Smith interception and the Vikings TD to tie the score 17-17. The Vikings defense, which I've been killing,
Yes, you have.
but they've been learning, has been getting better each week as they're expanding the defensive responsibilities. The Vikings get in field goal range, but there's plenty of time left for the Commanders to respond. A penalty on the field goal attempt resulted in the Vikings accepting it after they made the field goal and then making Washington exhaust all their timeouts and Joseph kicking a chip shot, the game winner, 20-17. Vikings moving to 7-1. The improbable 7-1. Some final thoughts. The Vikings keep finding a way to come back and win close games. They're still acclimating to the new system, and there still is plenty of room for improvement. It's game balls. Captain Kirk Cousins. The naysayers, they can no longer say stuff. He is having an awesome year under Coach Kevin O'Connell. Coming back to play his former team, he rallied the Vikings from a 17-7 fourth quarter deficit. You like that? I need a skull horn. Can we get a skull horn for that? All right. Keep that skull horn handy. Tight end TJ Hawkinson. Second game ball.
addition.
Yeah. Caught all 9 passes.
Put him to work right away.
9 passes on his first week. Cousins threw his way for 70 yards in his Viking debut. I didn't hear the skull horn. It kind of got drowned out by the Jalla horn. That's okay. Cat. Let's get to the Seahawks.
Hold up, though, for a minute.
All right.
Isn't that the game where afterwards Mr. Captain Cousins was in the locker room rocking some bling and had his shirt off and was feeling real good?
Yeah, they got a new captain, or Kirk Duggan. KD, they call him.
I laughed when I saw it. I had to send that to you.
All right, so before we get to this first week of the Seahawks recap, this is going to be sponsored by Billy Ocean, and the Seahawks recap is now otherwise known as the Love Zone.
Wow. I don't think I like that. Do I like that? I'm not 100% sure, but it doesn't matter. So check it out.
we had to go ahead and rock the West Coast battle again with the rivalry against our heated rival, the Arizona Cardinals. We had to go down to their house. Everything was on the line for them. We had some things on the line for us as well. But we knew it was going to be a fight, so we iced our jaws up. We stretched, got hydrated, and we showed up like we always do. How'd it go? First quarter, we don't win the toss. They win it, they defer. That's the trend. We keep talking about that. It all started with Pete Carroll when he got to NFL, but I don't even need to go there. So, what happens in the first quarter? Punches, body blows, kicks. Everything is coming at each other, but nobody can break through. So we're going to swiftly move to the second quarter. This is when things start to get in. Well, actually, the first quarter did end with some points, so let me finish that up. 10 minutes and 50 seconds left in the first half. The Seattle Seahawks, with your guy Justin Myers, finish up a 8-play drive for 34 yards. Took us 4 minutes and 10 seconds to just kind of crack the ice. I was hoping for a touch. We didn't get it. We get the ball back to these guys, and this is the return debut of Mr. DeAndre Hopkins. He had been crushing for the 2 weeks prior. It might have involved, I don't know if that involved your team or not, but he was.
Yeah, they lost. Yeah.
But did he put in his work?
He did. He made a great catch in the end zone.
So, and they tried to, he did. I actually commented on that too. So DeAndre Hopkins ends up closing off this drive. It's 6 minutes and 17 seconds left in the quarter, where they get a 22-yard touchdown pass from Kyler Murray to D-Hop. D-Hop's feeling good. It's an 83-yard play drive. I'm not feeling good. Took nine plays to do it. They chewed up some clock. So both teams are here. Both teams have showed up. Where the defense is at, let's find out. Second quarter kicks off. 11 minutes and 59 seconds. There's a young man. They call him DK Metcalf. He has a tendency to be intense, sometimes a little bit too much intense. But here's how he caps this particular drive. It's a 12-play. Call that an answer, B Gold. 79 yards. Took 6 minutes and 8 seconds. How did we finish it? That man, they call him Geno Smith, a.k.a. the Emerald Lantern. He made sure DK got a piece of the action. Drops a 4-yard pass right into the man's hands and then tap it off with a Jason Myers kick. Okay. That's how we go into halftime. No more scores. Time for some fireworks, B Gold. Again, division rivalry.
Light them up.
It is what it is. Third quarter. Zaven Collins. Does that name sound familiar to you?
Never heard of him.
Geno drops back, tries to drop a little screen pass to K9. Zaven's like, nah, man, I'm in the lane. I see this. He jumps the route, picks the rock, takes it to the you-know-where, scores a touchdown for the Cardinals.
HOUSE.
Pick 6. So everybody's like, oh, my gosh, Geno's back to being Geno. All those folks. We're going to find out what Geno's made of. We get the ball back. There's a guy named Tyler Lockett on our team. We've talked about him before. He's extremely polished. He's a very reliable receiver. Anyway, we take the ball, and we move 13 plays now, B Gold. We're serious. 75-yard drive. Takes us 6 minutes and 35 seconds, and Tyler Lockett receives a beautiful 9-yard pass from Geno Smith, which I will touch on later. This gets us the lead, and we don't relinquish it after this. We move to the fourth quarter. Kenneth Walker III, a guy you've mentioned, I've mentioned. He's still on the field. You hadn't heard his name yet, but you're about to hear it. This is a 13-play, 81-yard drive. You picking up what I'm dropping, brother?
Yeah.
A lot of plays, a lot of ball control. That's how we need to win. When we don't have ball control, we don't have a good chance at winning. So it takes us 6 minutes and 46 seconds to get down the field. We finish this off with a powerful 1-yard run by Kenneth Walker III, a.k.a. K9. What happens after that? Cardinals are like, yo, we're still here. They get a drive, 14 plays, 75 yards. They answer back, letting everybody know they're not quitting.
They can be electric.
They can. They finish this drive with a Zach Ertz 6-yard touchdown pass from Kyler Murray. And it's tight, but it's not tight enough. So we follow that up with a 5-play, 85-yard drive. Some chunk plays in there. Finish it off with a 5-yard run by Kenneth Walker III to put this game away for good. Tap it up. with a Jason Myers kick. And we shut that game down with the win. Keeps us still on top in the NFC West. Things that got a little dicier the following week, which we'll talk about. But that's part of the way it goes in the NFL. Nothing's easy, especially a job if you don't perform.
Exactly.
So,
All right. Yeah,
it is what it
great
is.
win for both squads. So we got to get 2 recaps in here. So let's move to the Week 10 recaps. Vikings visiting the what are they? The media crowned Super Bowl champion Buffalo Bills.
Pretty much.
I'm still in Aruba, by the way.
Pretty much.
And today, game day, I am forced to make a room change. It's finally completed at 2:07 Arubian time, which is 1:07 East Coast time. I rushed to Carlitos. Again, the bar on the beach. Props to you guys for showing all the games right next to the resort. I learned that the Bills went 3 and out to start the game, and Minnesota got the ball and converted its first third down with Kirk Cousins' 46-yard completion to JJ. 3 plays later, they connected with a 22-yard TD pass down the right sideline. 7-0 Vikings. The Bills, they respond and drive down the field and finish off the drive with a Devin Singletary rushing TD that ties the game at 7-7. Minnesota's out pretty quickly, and Bills get the ball back, and Singletary scores another touchdown on back-to-back drives, which puts the Bills up 14-7. Vikings get the ball and are driving, but Kirk Cousins sails a pass over the middle intended for KJ Osborne, and it's intercepted and returned to 35 yards to the Vikings' 27-yard line. Down 14-7. Defense got to stand up, and they do. They hold it to a Bills settling for a field goal. 17-7 Bills. Vikings back on offense. Kirk Cousins connects with Jefferson for 14 yards on 3rd and 7. Alexander Madison has a couple runs of 9 to 7 yards for another first down. 3 plays later, Cousins hits Osborne for 20 yards to set up 1st and goal from the 2. Madison's blown up for a 5-yard loss, and tight end Hawkinson is flagged for an offensive pass interference, pushes the ball back to the Bills' 17-yard line. Next play is incomplete, and we settle for a Greg Joseph field goal to make it 17-10 Bills. Bills get the ball, and running back Singletary, who's already got 2 TDs, he gets upended on a 7-yard run, and he loses the ball. Recovered by the Minnesota safety, Cameron Bynum, and he returns it 40 yards to the Bills' 37-yard line. We got some life here.
Yes, you
Down
do.
17-10. However, unable to capitalize off the turnover. They had a 3rd and 1 from the Bills' 28, and he threw it incomplete to Justin Jefferson. They went for it on 4th down, and the pass was knocked away, so we turned it over on down. Allen and the Bills finished off the first half by driving and throwing a TD to Gabe Davis before halftime and go up 24-10 at half. Let's turn our attention to the second half. Minnesota gets the ball, and what do? They turn it over again. On 1st and 10 from the Bills' 36, Cousins is intercepted, and it was returned 11 yards to the Bills' 42. It was Cousins' 2nd interception of the game. Defense, you know what? They hold them to a field goal. So it's 27-10. We're now down by 3 scores. I'm still hanging at Carlitos. A lot of Bills fans there, and
You're representing.
I'm representing. You know, I'm not giving up. The Vikings need a big play, and they get it. 1 play, 17 seconds, and Dalvin Cook off tackle gets down the sideline and scores on an 81-yard touchdown run, cuts the lead 27-17. Vikings defense on the next drive by the Bills. They bend, but they don't break.
There you go.
And Pat Pete picks off Allen on 4th and 2 in the end zone and returns it 39 yards. Cousins and the Vikings respond and go 66 yards for a touchdown drive that was punctuated by fullback CJ's Ham's 3-yard TD run that was totally caught the Bills by surprise. So,
That's a good way to do it.
after the extra point, we're only going to be down 27-24. But Greg,
The leg.
be a peg leg, hits the upright, and he misses.
Yeah.
We're down 27-23. That's important.
It is very.
Because now this is getting late in the game, and a field goal is much different than a touchdown. Bills get the ball, and they go 3 and out. The defense, they're doing good. This is
That shell package is working out.
This is the 2022 crowned Super Bowl champion Buffalo Bills in their house,
That's
and
true.
we're doing okay.
That's true.
No, Vikings get down to a 4th and 18 from their 24-yard line. Not a lot of time left on the clock. They got to go for it, and JJ makes one of the best catches you'll ever see.
It was good.
He followed Minnesota followed up that incredible catch with a 9-yard reception by Thielen, and plus an unnecessary roughness call. And then Jefferson makes the catch over the middle to get to the Bills 3. Cousins then trips over one of his linemen on first down and loses 3 yards. It appeared Jefferson caught a touchdown on third down, but the play was reversed. He was about a yard short. His knee went down. Good call by the refs. On fourth down, Dalvin Cook couldn't hang on to a pass from Cousins, but Jordan Phillips, the defensive tackle for the Bills, was offsides, and clearly it was a free play. But Cook's got to catch that ball.
He usually does.
He used it. Vikings get another chance at 4th and goal from the 1, but Cousins, even though he's pushed from behind by C.J. Ham, was stopped for no gain, fell just short about the quarter-yard line, and he did not get in. So, just to give you a little perspective, I'm in Aruba. It's an hour later there. We have dinner reservations.
The weather's perfect.
The weather's perfect, and I'm at Carlito's, and I'm getting texted on the phone. We have 45 minutes before we have to be at our dinner reservation because it's later there, and there's 46 seconds left on the clock, and I say, all I gotta do is take a kneel. But I wasn't thinking how close to the end zone they were. I just figured Josh Allen's 6'2", 245.
He's taller than 6'2". He's like 6'6".
He's got to pull forward and lean the ball over.
He's a big fella.
The offensive line. That's all he's got to do. So off I go to dinner. Go to dinner with the family, get to bed, wake up in the morning, go on the Vikings site, and says, Vikings stun the Bills. And I'm going, did this guy write the article before the game was over? And I looked at the scoring line, and I'm going, 0-yard fumble return for a TD to put the Vikings in the lead.
That was crazy.
So I'm scouring the internet on a very slow internet at Buffalo. I mean, I'm sure in Aruba where it takes 15 minutes to watch a 30-second clip because it goes in and out. And I saw the play, and then I watched the clips from overtime. I didn't get a chance to see it in real time until I got home. But it went to overtime, and the Vikings got the ball. They got down to the 2-yard line, and I'll talk about why they didn't score from there later in this when the real deal comes to the show. And they go up 33-30. Josh Allen brings the Bills down, primed to end the game with a touchdown. But Pat Pete ends the game with another interception, comes out, does the old QB slide into second base, and the game is over. Vikings move to an improbable 8-1 against the so-called best team in the NFL.
Who's next?
Who's the Cowpokes are next.
Uh-oh.
But let's get a couple game balls. Justin Jefferson, 10 catches, 193 receiving yards, 1 touchdown in a game where the phenom player exuded the utmost clutch performance that you'll ever see. He extended the game. Get ready, keep those going. He extended the game on a 4th and 18 play that will live in Vikings lore eternally.
It will.
Cornerback Pat Pete, 2 picks, including the one to seal the victory in overtime. And of course, our defensive coordinator, who I've been railing on.
Giving him props.
Yeah, but he's
doing his job.
He needed some time.
He's doing his job.
Defense did not allow the Bills to score a TD in the second half. Yet another reason of many why the Vikings stunned the Buffalo Bills.
In their house.
In their house.
It's not easy to do, especially that week. Glad you're not going this week, though, all that snow coming.
We have overcome.
Can I speak about Pat Peterson for a second?
You can. He's drinking from the fountain of youth.
He's out of control. The
He's out of
last
control.
couple of weeks, and you got to listen to him mic'd up against the Cardinals. You have to listen. It's like 5 minutes. It's fantastic. but the guy's playing out of his mind. He's
mind.
totally leading your D, leading by example, and they're following his lead.
They are.
I mean, he's balling.
What say you about the second game of the Seahawks?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, in Germany, we went to Germany to try to battle the Buccaneers and the old Tom Brady GOAT. I was personally hoping the old Tom Brady would show up, but he didn't. The GOAT showed up, and he showed everybody in Germany and across the world how to dissect a defense if you don't get to him. And that's how the first half started. Geno's lamp was not lit brightly at all in the first half. We needed some strength. We needed some extra stuff, and we weren't really getting it. But we fought. We win the toss, actually, and we deferred to the second half. So we get them and force them to punt. Like, okay, cool. Let's not waste this. And I'm saying this from the beginning of the game. Let's not waste one possession. So we get the ball next. What do? Run a few plays, punt. I'm not happy, but it is what it is. It's 0-0. Buccaneers get the rock back. They get a small drive going, and it ends with a field goal attempt, but they miss. I'm feeling decent, but I'm not liking this. Almost feeling like the Vikings at the end of the game, but this is at the beginning of the game. So this is not going good, B-Gold. So we get the ball back. What do? We run a few plays, pick up a few yards, and then we punt. I've seen this song and dance before, and I don't like the song, and I don't like the dance to it. So we get the ball back to the GOAT. Now, he's got 3 points. If you know anything about Tom Brady, he loves putting pressure on another defense to force you to do things you didn't plan on doing. He already had us twisted with the coverages because he was picking us apart. So they get the rock back with the 3-0 lead. What does Tom Brady do? He leads his team down the field, B-Gold. And I mean leads. He's clearly in command. They cap off the drive with a touchdown. Frustration is setting in early for your old Captain Vuk. You know, they're in Germany. I can't get to him. I can't talk to him. I can't coach him up. But it is what it is. We end the first quarter 0-0, but they finish that drive into the second quarter and get a touchdown. So I'm like, okay, we'll respond. That's what we do, right? We will respond. We get the ball back. We run a few plays, as I mentioned earlier, and we punt.
That would have been a 3-and-out, wouldn't it have been?
And our punter, woo, if not for that man, Mr. Dixon, he was on his game. He must have saw the hype video.
The field. Yeah, he must have been watching the Mighty
He
Hero.
must have been your guy, yeah, because he really saved us a lot, but it didn't really matter, unfortunately, like it should have and like it could have. So we get into a 4th and 2. We don't make it happen. We have to punt that ball, and it goes back to Tom Brady, and now he's smelling blood. They got 7 points. He's already mad because they missed the earlier field goal. What does he do? He leads his team on a drive that basically wore us out. And they cap it with a touchdown, B-Gold. It was very frustrating, but this is how they were attacking us. And
What's the score at that point?
It's 14-0 now.
14-0.
14-0, that's how we go into half. But this is what they were doing, and it was obvious to me. At the beginning of the game, you know their running attack hadn't done much this year. Hasn't done much. It seems like they said, we're going to run the ball on you, Seattle, and we're going to do it between the guards.
And it wasn't even Fournette.
No, he got a piece of it, but they got that other guy in there, White.
Yeah, Rashad White, I think.
They had a White on the defense and on the offense that made impacts. Devon White on defense was acting up.
Yep.
But they ran right between the guards, and we were having trouble stopping them. And one of our big guys, Brandon Monet, who's a big shot stopper in there, he didn't make he was a healthy scratch for some reason. So Al Woods was in there, but he needs his crew. He needs his people.
I like me some Al Woods.
I know, me too.
Al Big Woods.
And you got to stop the run regardless at all costs in the NFL. So we don't do that. They get a touchdown. It's 14-0. That's how we go into half, but we punted 2 more times after they scored the second touchdown. So I'm not happy. I'm like, where are we at? Are we going to make the adjustments like we tend to do? So they go into halftime. They check the battery level of Geno's Emerald Lantern. It was faulty. They put another battery in there to see if they could get a charge going into the second half, because that's how it goes. We're in foreign territory, and the crowd was very mixed. And I'm gonna talk about the German situation and the crowd. It was freaking awesome in a nutshell. They were freaking awesome. But there's a split. And at first, the Seahawks fans were kind of loud. Buccaneers fans start getting loud as well because they started seeing the GOAT do what he does. So let's jump into the third quarter. Second half is over. See how Seahawks get that ball back. Nice little drive. We do get on the board. It's a 3-yard field goal, 3-point field goal, but it was going to be initially a 40-yard attempt. DK Metcalf gets a lack of discipline flag, basically. Forces our guy to come in and hit from 55. Now, that helps your fantasy team, but it adds nerves to me that I wasn't expecting. So I'm like, hit the field goal, please. Get on the board. Don't get shut out in Germany. So he knocks it down. It was a great field goal kick. So we get some points. We're on the board. We're feeling okay. We're in it 3-14 after the drive. What happens after that, B-Gold? Do I have to tell you? I think I do. So the Buccaneers get the ball, and they're rolling. They got a nice drive going. And then all of a sudden, something bizarre happens. Leonard Fournette gets the rock out of a little wildcat action. Feels like he's going to throw the rock to Tom Brady because they ran the same play earlier.
Play.
There was a trip play is what it was. Did you say trick or trip?
Trick.
Yeah, it tried to be a trick play. They did it earlier, and nobody covered Tom Brady, so they thought, let's run it again because we don't pay attention. Tyreek Woolen, fastest man on the field, gets the pick, and Tom Brady does a leg scissors on him. And he admitted it afterwards. He's like, there's no way I'm catching this guy. So we would have probably got a touchdown there, but we didn't. We had to settle for the interception. That was my guy, Tyreek Woolen. You know him.
So Leonard Fournette threw the interception?
Yes, he did on that one. Yeah. So anyway, how do we respond to that? We get the ball. We start rolling. Oh my gosh. We start on the 16-yard line. We get ourselves down to the red zone on the Tampa Bay 9. Geno starts to scramble on kind of a busted play. He's looking for an out. He doesn't get it. What he does is ball out. Buccaneers tap the rock, hit him. He loses the ball. We don't recover. They get it back. What does Tom Brady do? The shark, the guy that smells blood and looks for it every day. They take his team. He's like, we know what we got to do here. We got to get some points on these guys and put more pressure on them. That's exactly what he does. It's brutal. It is brutal. That Rashawn or R. White, was it Rondell? I don't know what his first name. The dude
White
is legit. Yep. He gets touches that we can't stop. So 4 plays later, these guys are.
That was his first start in the NFL.
Yeah, they get 4 plays and they shut down the second quarter. And now the pressure's really on. We get to, where's my, so the score is now 21-3. We need to do something. Okay, we need to do something bad. So we get the ball back. We actually make a nice little drive, and we finish it off with a touchdown. Now, that touchdown was pretty epic, but it wasn't as epic as what I wanted to explain earlier because it doesn't get us where we need to get. So we end up getting that. We get another interception, but this one is on Tom Brady in their next series. So it's still 9-21. Cody Barton jumps up in the lane, makes a great catch. I think it's his first pick of the season and definitely the first time he's picked off Tom Brady. And it was in Germany, so that was kind of cool. But, the idea is to try to win the game, as Tony Dungy said very famously. Yeah. So we work our way up to 16-21. We're still in it. Time is ticking.
Just got to stop Brady.
You have to.
Can't let him. You know what? Typically, teams run. He didn't do that.
Right. He didn't. And so we keep working, and we work our butt off. We get maybe a 9 or so play drive. And it was an 8-play drive for 46 yards. We get into a 4th down situation. If we don't get this, it's over. The suspense is building.
I remember one of those segments you did. It's over.
Yeah.
It's over. It was like a bonus episode.
It was 3 minutes and 58 seconds left. Marquise Goodwin gets the ball on 4th and a lot. He throws Geno takes a shot too. He stays in there, hangs in there. He takes the shot, throws the ball to the back left corner of the end zone. Goodwin is running for all he's worth. He's got trailers all around him. He makes an amazing diving catch. They look at it, review it to see if he juggled it and got possession. He did. It was amazing. Very difficult. Difficulty level 12. You know what? That's pretty hard to do.
It's above 10.
That's it. And you got those extra twos in there. So, it gets the game to 16-21. We try to fight Billy. But we can't overcome these guys. And they end up getting the ball and they squeeze the clock out. They force us to use all our timeouts.
In not a typical fashion. They didn't run the ball. He ran on first down, and he passed on second down to get the first down, and then he did it again on the next string. And you know what? That's not what they do in the NFL. So that's why he is who he is.
That's exactly right. He does what he needs to do to get the W. He got that from the Belichick system.
He wasn't going to run it 3 times because they're going to get stopped.
He'll get broken.
Exactly. He needed the first down. There was too much time left on the clock.
So it was a tough loss, 16-21.
Really good comeback.
Yeah, we fought back in the second half.
He fought back.
And we still got a piece of the NFC West lead right now, but we can't waste opportunities, B Gold.
No.
That's it, brother.
All right. Good stuff. Hey, Cap.
My man, what's up?
Good review. Any tips of the Caps from the Caps for that game?
Not for that game. I only give out one to the win this time. That goes to Geno Smith against the Cardinals. He had a stat line of 26 for 34, 275 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the 1 pick, but he recovered, came back, balled out. We got the W.
Captain.
My man.
Perfect. All right, let's move on to the Bam Bam moment. Which one? What do you got for us, Cap?
B Gold, I do have a Bam Bam moment, brother. It was the second quarter, about 1 minute and 4 seconds left. It was 3rd and 14. Into the half, people think you're going to lay down. Nuh-uh. Kyler Murray backs up. He's on his own 30. He throws the rock to number whatever his name is on the 50. He gets tied up, and then Jordan Brooks comes up and knocks the stuffing out of him. This is like Thanksgiving early, bro.
Say, is that a Thanksgiving reference?
He came up, and he put the whoppa-doodle on him. It's not easy to do that. Did you see the game? If you didn't, if you can check it out, he had to lead the game after that. He looked like he tried to act like he wasn't hurt. He got shook up. It was one of the best hits, and that's what happens when you get tangled up in the NFL. People are coming full speed. He gets tied up, and then boom! Oh! Check yourself before you wreck yourself. It was a beautiful Bam Bam moment. He even hit Tyreek Woolen a little bit, but hey, it's part of the deal. It's part of the job.
It's time for the By the Numbers segment. This week, number 10 and number 11. The Vikings have only had 2 people to wear the number 10. In 1968, King Hill wore the number 10. Hill was the first player selected in the 1958 NFL draft before the Vikings even came to an existence, and spent over 35 years in professional football as a player, coach, and scout, and he also was a key figure in the NFL Players Association. But however, the number 10 strictly belongs to Fran the Man Tarkenton. 1961 to 1966, and then came back from 1972 to 78. When he was traded, the Vikings got 3 core players that solidified their team on the offensive side for years to come. He spent 13 of his 18 seasons with the NFL in the purple, and still holds all Viking QB records. In 1975, he won the NFL Most Valuable Player Award. Number 10 goes
You gotta. There's no question. Fran the Man.
The Man Target. So what do you got for number 10 for the Seahawks?
Got quite a few names here. I got Deion Butler. He was a receiver for us. We got Jeff Fiegels, a punter. Josh Gordon, the unfortunately troubled sometimes, but the guy is extremely talented. He wore it for 1 year, 2019. Alindo Mare wore it. Benson Mayowa wore it. Dan McGuire absolutely is not getting it. Still have nightmares about him being under center for us. Uchenna Nwosu, our new addition, love that guy, but he ain't been there long enough yet. Especially when you hear these last 2 names. Paul Richardson was a receiver for us. He did good. He was there from 2014 to 2017. But you can't touch Jim Zorn. Are you kidding me?
There you go. The lefty from the best, yeah.
1976 to 84, dropping back with that smooth spiral coming out of that left hand. You kidding me? Jim Zorn gets it.
Led them to a lot of Super Bowls, right?
Yeah, right. Oh, you are funny.
All right, let's move on to the number 11. The Vikings who wore number 11. Ron Vander Kellen, 1963. Who? I thought I knew all the Vikings. I don't know this guy. Mike Eichschild, punter. Wade Wilson had a very good career as a QB for the Vikings. Jay Fielder, after he left the Dolphins, came to us for a year, not Jason Carter, don't know who he is. Jamar Johnson, Stephen Barton, Mike Wallace, Laquan Treadwell, Tajay Sharp, Kellen Mond. Supposed to be the next coming of a great quarterback. But we left out Dante Culpepper,
Oh, yeah.
2000 to 2005, and Joe Cap, 1967 and 1969. In 1969, Cap set an NFL, I shouldn't say an NFL, a team record for touchdown passes in a game that still stands today, tossing 7 touchdowns in a game against the Baltimore Colts. So it comes down to Joe Cap and Dante Culpepper. As I wrote this up, I did not pick a winner. Joe Cap took us to our first Super Bowl, so that really sticks in my heart. Dante Culpepper, he was part of one of the greatest runs as a quarterback, but he had some serious help with the wide receivers. I hate to do this.
But you're going to do it. He's going to do it, Top Gun.
I'm calling it a tie.
Come on, man.
All right, Joe Cap,
There
the
you go.
original
Give
Viking.
it to the legend.
Yeah. Now, the only reason he left the Vikings was a contract,
That's it? Money?
and he was one of the first guys to test free agency.
He wanted some stability.
He was one of the first guys. So I'm
And the
going to give it to
Vikings-
Joe Cap. Dante Culpepper was great. He had small hands, which kind of no, it's a true.
He was a big guy, too,
He was
but
a
he
big
had
guy with
small
small hands, and they said that hurt his throws sometimes. But I'm going with Joe Cap.
Okay.
What do you got for number 11?
So
Cap?
number 11, we got Deion Butler again. He wore number 10 and wore number 11. He's not getting it, though. We got a guy named Andre Coleman. Not even familiar with him. 1970 somewhere, 97. Anyway, B.J. Daniels, he was a receiver. We got Marquise Goodwin. This is his first year with us. He's not going to get it, but he's balling. Ronnie Harris, Percy Harvin. Does he sound familiar to the Viking Nation?
He does. We got a lot of good draft picks for him.
Brock Heward, quarterback out of University of Washington. He's on the list.
You're not even going to
He's not
respond
going to
to
get
that?
it. Say that again.
I said we got a lot of good draft picks for Percy.
Oh, yeah, you did. Was that part of the poison pill? That wasn't part of the poison
that was
pill,
Hutchinson.
though. That was Hutchinson and Nate Burleson.
Yeah, you took Burleson, who's a good announcer, who was never a really good player.
He's a good player. He still has a couple records for kickoffs, too. Let's not forget it.
Average.
The guy can blaze.
Average.
He has toe drag swag, too. Sebastian Janikowski, he's not going to get it. A kicker we got after you basically used up a lot of time at the Raiders organization.
Good kicker, though.
Jermaine Kearse, yeah, that's my guy. Touch on him in a second. Bruce Matheson, Kelly Stauffer, and Cody Thompson. So for me on this list, it's absolutely going to my dude, Jermaine Kearse, from the hometown. Got us a Super Bowl, made the clutchest catches possible in the biggest games, saved Russ Wilson a lot by making grabs.
Russ, did you hear that? You didn't put the ball in the right place.
He
This
put
guy,
it in the
this
right
guy
place.
saved you.
He did his thing. Jermaine had made some ridiculous catches. You got to check him out.
Jermaine ended his career as a Seahawk.
No,
where,
he didn't.
Where Russ didn't.
No, he didn't.
Where he ended his career.
Where did he go? He left after he played a year or two after he left Seattle, and that was it for him.
That was it for him. All right.
But yeah, he gave us, I want to say, a good 8 or something like that.
I love this segment. There's some lean years or lean numbers, but
This is funny.
I'd still like doing it. All right, segues us into the fun facts for the week. Fun fact number 1.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Before Sunday, the Vikings had not won a road game in the regular season when trailing by 14 plus points at halftime since 1985. Fun fact number 2.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Before Sunday, the Bills had not lost a home game in the regular season when leading by 14 plus points at halftime since 1968.
As my oldest son says, or excuse me, my youngest son says, things changed. They changed for the Bills. The Bills got to wake up.
Fun fact number 3.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Now at 8-1, the Vikings have a 99% probability of reaching the postseason.
So you're in no fear of wearing that Detroit Lions jersey this year, huh?
Detroit Lions.
Remember that you said if their record's better than yours, you'll wear their jersey?
Exactly.
That's not happening.
That's not happening. All right. No, not so fun facts. No ridiculous articles of the week. So let's get to the segment of taking it to the house. House music. Welcome to the 479, the home of sharp as cleavers. As Snap would say, don't believe the hype. Ours is the show that's the prototype. The 479 is for sure legit. Can I get a witness? We make the picks during the show, making you the money, as you know. Helping you pick your fantasy squad back in the day was Ahmad Rashad. Lynch, Largent, Target, and Moss. With them in our lineup, there was no loss. HOUSE 479 is where we be. The deal, the booth, and the gun. Sharing our knowledge, having some fun. Thanks for hanging and joining our flow. Week to week, another new show. House music will take us out. It's old school, there is no doubt. House music. All right, Vikings 1st and 10 from their own 18-yard line, down 27-10, late in the third quarter. Dalvin Cook takes a hand up from Cousins, steps inside the left tackle, bounces out to the left, freezes the quarterback. Jefferson took out 2 defenders. Cook's got room. There he goes, down the sideline. He's not going to be caught. Dalvin Cook with an 81-yard touchdown to the house. You like that, Cap? All right, let's hear you're taking it to the house.
All right, B-Gold, I'm glad I do have a house call. 2 minutes and 48 seconds left in the Arizona game in the third quarter. Geno Smith gets in the drop back formation. He gets back there. Protection's good. He looks to the right. He doesn't do anything. He looks to the left. Tyler Lockett pushes a guy back with his route, gets his space, turns around. The hot groceries have arrived in his pockets, and he's ready to go feed people. He's doing what he does, courtesy of Geno Smith Airways. Package delivered. Touchdown Seahawks. We take the lead. Tyler makes a house call, and we don't relinquish it. Let's go.
All right, we got breaking news this week.
Break it open, brother.
Justin Jefferson was named the NFC Offensive Player of the Week for Week 11.
Congrats.
Nice job,
Well done.
JJ. All right. Another breaking news. Former Vikings first-round draft pick Laquan Treadwell was signed by your Seattle Seahawks to their practice squad. I'm not wishing any bad things on Laquan, but he did not make it in Minnesota. He's bounced around a couple teams. To make room, you guys released wide receiver J.J. Arcea-Whiteside.
Yeah, it's okay. He was a risk play anyway. He didn't really latch on. So hats off to him. Hope he does well. And we'll see how Mr. Treadwell does in the blue and green.
All right, cool. Let's get to the real deal rant of the week.
Let's hear it.
All right, the referees! The referees! We won the game, but it was 1st and goal from the Bills' 2-yard line in overtime. The Bills had 12 men on the field. The refs didn't see it. The play resulted in a 3-yard loss by Dalvin Cook. Imagine that. You got an extra player on the field. Of course we had a 3-yard loss. We ended up settling for a field goal where a TD in overtime would have ended the game right there. The refs got to get this stuff right. Earlier on the Bills' drive that tied the game to send it into overtime, the refs did not review a 20-yard completion that put the Bills in field goal range. All plays in the final couple minutes require the replay official to stop the game until he has time to confirm the catch. We cannot challenge it. It's on the replay official. The NFL Senior VP officiating did put out a release stating exactly this. Look, there are plenty of times that judgmental calls are in the eyes of the beholder, but these missed calls are the blocking and tackling jobs of the referees. They cannot be missed.
I agree. That needs to be looked at again at the end of the season. That and the surfaces of these fields. I'm sick of people getting knees blown out and twisted up ridiculously like pretzels because of these crazy turfs.
Got to get to back
Play
to
on
grass.
grass.
Somehow,
Come on.
You know, you got the money.
That's how we did it in the Big Sky where
You
I
can
came
put
from.
sod down for every game.
Let's go.
They can afford it.
You lose a little bit of speed, but it's still good football.
It's good football.
And the injuries go away. They don't
All right.
really stay there. So
Let's move on to outside the box with the real deal.
Let's move.
I saw a Hall of Fame quarterback this week make a statement that caught my attention because I hear you use this reference on the show all the time. Hall of Fame quarterback Steve Young. You know who he is?
I do.
All right. He says the most polished wide receiver in the game today is Justin Jefferson.
Hey, everybody's got a right to their opinion.
I'm just saying, you know, he caught my attention because he said
that's okay.
polished. And I think I've heard polished on this show
Many a times.
at least 55
Oh, I'll stick
times.
with mine. Yeah, I absolutely stick with mine. Now, if you said dynamic, explosive, man, that's Mr. Boom Boom all day.
Well, if you say polished and that kind of takes like 7 categories underneath that, right?
You know what? Hats off to Justin Jefferson. He's one of my
I only
favorites.
brought it up because
He's one of my favorites.
I know he is. I'm the only reason I say this is I heard the
I know
word
you trying
polished.
to chink the armor.
I heard polished.
I don't got a lot of armor, but
All right, let's get on the Vikings Week 11 preview against the Dallas Cowpokes. The Vikings.
you better hope you don't have to eat your words after this
The
game.
Vikings, though, at 8-1 and playing at home as a 1-point underdog to the Cowboys. That means the pundits still at 8-1 are showing no respect.
That's true.
No
That is
respect.
true.
Even after defeating the crowned Super Bowl champion Bills on the roll.
Did you feel like you guys dodged a huge missile in that game?
Did I just read you what the referees did to us twice?
Oh, it's on the refs.
No, I'm saying we won that game despite them.
I know you won the
Despite them.
game.
No, it's not on them. We won
that
despite
ending
them.
was out of
Should have
control.
ended twice. I do have a couple concerns for this week.
Uh-oh.
We have a couple injuries that we have to watch prior to kickoff. Starting left tackle Christian Darrisaw, who right now is the highest rated left tackle in the NFL.
Really?
Yes, by what do they call it? PFF.
Keeping Kirk clean. Yeah, Pro Football.
Yep.
Focus.
Yep. But he had a concussion and he left early this week. Brian Brandell came in and played well, but Darrisaw needs to be back. He has to get through protocol. Also, our starting cornerback, Akilib Evans, a rookie who was in for Cameron Dantzler, who was placed on IR, also got a concussion. And finally, starting linebacker Zadarius Smith, who leads the NFC, I'm not sure about the NFL, in sacks, has a knee contusion. So those are 3 guys that will help us. I know it's next man up mentality, but
How many sacks does he have? Do you know?
last I knew he had 10.5.
Okay, because the Uchenna Nwosu has 7, and he's tied for a third, I think.
Yeah, so
something like that.
Yeah, I think he has 10.5.
sounds
You know what?
good.
There's an open item. Open item. So we should get sack leaders, right?
Yes,
Open
that'll be a
item.
fun list to look at.
Yep, sack leader.
Last year we didn't. I don't think we had anybody on it.
No.
In Seattle.
Okay, so Cap, let's hear your thoughts on what the Seahawks will do in Week 11.
What I think we're gonna do is rest, drink, hydration, stay hydrated. You
You got the
watch
bye.
film.
You got the bye week.
Stay out of the news. And get ready for the Raiders
There you
when
go.
we get ready to lock in the week after. So
you
we
know
got to
what?
stay healthy and get healthy.
Before we get to the next show, I already got a correction to make. JJ was the offensive player for Week 10. I said Week 11.
Okay.
Now that I'm looking at the notes here, it looks like I caught that early, so I don't got to make a correction next week.
And are you still looking for a nickname for the coach of the Arizona Cardinals?
That was on you.
Cliff Clownsberry.
Clownsberry. All right, we like
There's
that.
just a lot of
I
bizarre
like that.
things going on with the whole team.
Exactly.
And it's almost like a circus.
And can you believe that Frank Reich got fired?
I know.
And they hired a former player to center, Jeff Saturday, to take his place.
Did you see how hard the Colts played last year?
Yes.
That's
yeah,
not on
I'm not liking
him.
that.
Either
Yeah, that's
do
on the
I.
owner.
And you know his track record?
It's been good.
I mean, come on.
I would not be unhappy with him, but
There's
you know
something else going on.
Obviously, we're doing good. All right, let's get to the rest of the picks for the week, and we're going to start it out with how we did in Week 9. The real deal was 9-4, and Cap was 8-5. The Cap now drops down to 2 games, loses 1 game. We did not pick Week 10, so the yearly totals are the real deal 87, 48, and 1. Cap stands at 85, 50, and 1. We are well above 500. We're doing well.
Got to keep doing it. A lot of people counting on us.
Yo, it's time for the picks, the weekly predictions by them guys. Get your notebooks out because they rarely miss. Make way for Captain Book when he makes his picks. You can't touch this dude. reppin' Hawks in the Emerald Nation. All units, battle stations. So welcome to the battle zone. It's a place where Captain Book is never alone. With his guide, he goes by his side. Sporting purple, always ready to ride. A real Viking maniac, never afraid to go on the attack. And when needed and comes the real deal, he's got a real feel for NFL skill. So listen close and get the word. Don't be the one who hadn't heard about Captain Book and Boot Gold. Dropping knowledge, truth be told. Pick up picks. Battle tested.
All right, let's get right at it. Thursday night, tonight, Titans on the road against the Packers. I think the Titans are going to win on the road 24-23.
Titans 30, Packers a mess 10.
Wow. All right, Rams visit the Saints on Sunday at 1 p.m. So one of the 1 p.m. games. Both teams are really banged up. But I think the Saints win at home 27-24.
I'm riding with the Saints too. I heard Stafford got a concussion and may not play, so that's enough for the Saints to get this W at home. I got the Saints winning 24-20.
24-20. All right, Browns visit the Bills. I feel sorry for the Browns, but they might have a little hope with the 4 feet of snow coming. So it might not be those points, but the Bills get back on track in a big way. I got them 34-20, but that's based on no snow, so the Bills still get the win.
Who has the best run game? I say Buffalo does. I say Buffalo gets this done 17-3. I think the weather's going to make an impact over there.
I agree. So, my score is a little high, but, I made it based on before I saw the weather forecast. So, as long as I got the Bills winning. All right, Chicago Bears at the Falcons.
Chi-Town and the ATL.
At the Falcons. I got the Bears winning on the road 27-20.
Yeah, I got the Bears getting this done also 17-10.
10.
Road game, but they're going to get it done.
All right, Jets go up to see the Patriots up in New England. I got the Pats surviving at home 20-17.
This is a tough one. I want to go with the Pats because they're at home and they do what they do, but I also want to pick the Jets, and I need a game on you. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Jets to win a close one. Jets 27, New England 24.
Okay, let's move on to the Panthers at the Ravens. The Ravens return from the bye week with a victory, 28-17.
Absolutely. Baltimore, I don't know if they're going to get the weather or not, but it's not going to matter. They're going to beat Carolina 31-12.
31-12, 4 field goals. All right, the Washington
Couple
Commanders.
TDs with 2 missed PATs.
Right, all right, there you go. The Washington Commanders, they've really impressed me. They played us well,
Yeah.
and then they beat the Eagles this week.
They did.
And Ron Rivera, I like him as a coach.
Me too.
They played well, so they win 24-16.
Yes, they tighten up Houston at their house, but that's just what has to happen. They're hitting hard right now. I got Washington getting it done 30, Houston 17.
Okay, let's move on to the Eagles at the Colts. Eagles get back on track 27-16.
Yeah, Eagles get it done. It'll be a little wider than that. Philly's going to win 28-10.
28-10. Okay, let's move on to the Lions, who got no defense, but they got plenty of offense. I got the Lions. The Lions at the New York Giants.
Gosh. The
You know
G-Men.
I got the Lions upsetting the G-Men.
Okay, bring it.
30-27.
Bring it. I got the G-Men holding it down at home right before Thanksgiving. They ain't losing this one at home. The Giants win this one 24, Detroit 17.
Okay, so now we swapped a couple games, so we can swing the pendulum here.
Or it could go wider and I'll be further away. You won't be able
Raiders.
to hear me.
Raiders at the Broncos. Russ is starting to cook. Broncos win 30-20.
Yeah, I got Denver getting this done too. And Las Vegas, just like Green Bay, is kind of a mess for some reason. I got the Denver Broncos winning this game 17-16.
A close one.
Yeah,
All right, Chiefs visit the Chargers. I got the Chiefs bolting past the Chargers 34-31.
Yeah, I got the Chiefs circling those wagons over there, and they're going to knock down the Chargers. It's going to be 34-20.
Okay, Cowboys at the Vikings. Vikings are 1-point underdogs. Cowboys are favored on the road. The Vikings are going to lasso them Cowboys 30-24.
Oh, is this the week I go against the Skull Nation? No. Not going against them. Minnesota at home. I mean, watch out for JJ. He's going to explode
Got a toe injury.
because of the fact that you guys are picked to lose.
Yep.
That's disrespect. Minnesota's been earning it. It's been ugly sometimes, but they've been earning it. I got Minnesota winning 34, Dallas 24.
34-24. All right, Bengals at the Steelers. The Bengals, they're just too much for Pittsburgh. 31-20.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's going to take it on the chin here. It's going to cause more confusion about what's going to happen with their coach's situation next year.
Tomlin, get rid of Tomlin.
But Cincinnati's going to get it done 24. Pittsburgh's going to get 10.
24-10. Final game, the 49ers and their San Francisco treat visit the Cardinals. And I got the 49ers winning in the desert, 31-27.
Yeah, shout out to Faithful to the Bay. Frisco's going to put that work in on Arizona. It's like a circus down there for whatever reason. Whether they're on the road, I see Kyler Murray yelling at his people. I mean, come on, man.
He might not play either. And their
If
backup
he
quarterback's hurt
doesn't,
too.
add another 7 or 10
Right,
to
he's
Frisco.
questionable right now.
Frisco.
And the backup quarterback's questionable.
Frisco doesn't like them. It might be 42-30.
42-30.
And if Kyler doesn't play, take 7 away from Arizona.
Bye weeks: Jacksonville, Miami, Seattle, and Tampa Bay. So they're not picking those.
Don't
They ain't
do
playing.
it. Don't do it. Check your rosters, fantasy folks.
Exactly. Okay. Good segue.
That's it.
Let's get to the fantasy football segment. It's time for fantasy football talk to see which teams can walk the walk. Each week, new matchups take place. All teams gunning for first place. Set your lineups, hope for the best. Your team might be good, but mine's the best. Make trades along the way. Ain't gonna help you, you might wanna pray. To be the best, you gotta beat the deal. Lots of luck, cause my team's for real. Let's get to the segment, start the chat. Hey, Book, what you say about that?
It's Captain Booth, and I'm running on the field like a wild one. Fantasy strategy that is second to none. I'm casting spells like a mad magician. I make so many damn moves, just like a mathematician. Without my fantasy logic, you'll just be hoping and wishing. And if you don't pay attention, your team will need a mortician. So check out Captain Booth and how I lay down my roster. I'm so dialed, there could never be an imposter. With this fantasy ball, this segment's for y'all. So don't miss our call for your fantasy brawl. This Captain Booth can be gold, so avoid the wreck. For your fantasy success, put our knowledge on deck. It's the fantasy segment. Get in.
And we are in. We are in.
All the way.
So the real deal beat the Ohio Bone Crushers, then lost to Access Lord. We're sitting at 4-6. Next up is the 6-4 G Hockey team in a must-win game. Or I don't think I'm going to make the final 6. So got to get her going.
That sounds blasphemous.
Seattle Socrates is in the same position. They're 4-6.
Uh-oh.
They face off against the 2-8 Connecticut Wagon Circlers, who just picked up Ezekiel Elliott, who was cut by G Hockey. So they
G
needed
Hockey makes moves.
Yeah, they needed
He's
some
making
help.
moves.
Needed some help. Connecticut El Grapador, Top Guns team, and they're now 5-5 and in the playoffs.
Ballin'. I see
They
you.
go up against Access Lord, who stands at 6-4.
Access
this
Lords are
tough
putting in
game.
work, yeah.
Tough game. Caps team, the Emerald Nation Monsterizers,
Let's
who
go.
are 6-4.
Let's go.
Take on the 4-6 Game Hunters.
Big game, Hunters.
You should take this game.
We're going hunting. I know that.
You should take
We're
this
going hunting for some big game.
Smell what's cooking.
He's
who now
balling.
owns, the best record in the league at 9-1.
Ooh, here we go.
By the way, their only loss was to me.
Heavyweights.
Oh, the only loss was to me.
I see that. We
don't
spoke on it last week.
He don't want to see me in the playoffs. That's why he's trying to keep me out.
Hey, this is going to be an epic game right here.
They face off against the 8-2 New Haven Mackerels. I mean, Naturals.
It's going down.
You know?
Smells what's cooking. You ready?
Yeah, exactly.
I know he's going to be
and
ready.
by the way, New Haven Naturals talking all that smack. Now, Cooper Kupp is on the IR.
Oh, how much did he carry the team? Did he carry a lot?
Oh, between him and Hurts, that's where he scored like 70 points.
So he was carrying the mail.
He was scoring like 30 points a week.
That man was toting the mail for him.
Now you got no Cooper Kupp.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's see if you can coach, dude.
Let's see what
Let's see if you
happens.
can coach.
Smell what's cooking's no joke.
Exactly.
He's locked in.
And finally, the 2-8 Ohio Bone Crushers play the 4-6 Crimson Knights. Bye weeks.
Taquavius squad.
Yeah.
They knocked us off last week.
Exactly. So bye weeks continue this week, and I heard Top Gun complaining. I gotta fill 4 spots.
Oh, I had to fill 9 in 2 weeks.
That's
4
what I'm
one
saying.
week, 5 the next.
These bye weeks, but that's what makes it interesting.
Yeah, it's tough.
All right, that concludes
The
our fantasy football
segment.
segment.
It's B Gold, back on the mic, dropping lyrics I know you'll like. The league is now on alert. The real deal is bringing the hurt. New challengers every season. Why worry? There is no reason. Teams might win some games. At the end of the day, I forget their name. A new season and more pretenders. New Haven Naturals is the lead offender. Like all the others who come to town, this dude is just another clown. Over the years, I put to rest any questions that I'm the best.
Whose team is the best? I'm Captain Book, and I'm the coach. And on the fantasy field, we'll never choke. Keep testing my crew, and you'll lose hope. You see, the Emerald Nation Monster Riders are no joke. And here's the note to the rest of the league. When dealing with trauma, you gotta stop the bleed. So here's a warning to all teams. Brace. This is Captain Book, and this is my place. So as we close out another nice section, perhaps next week, your team will be flexed, and we're having fun, and we hope you are too. This is the Captain and the Real Deal Fantasy Season 2.
It's a podcast built to last. The podcast, we're having a blast. It's a podcast built to last. The podcast, we're having a blast. Normally I'm bound on the wheels of steel, but the time has come to drop the field. B Gold is a name that I spin under, but the real deal's a guy who brings the thunder. Back in the day, it was 5 minutes of funk. The deal's on the mic, he ain't no punk. It's cool when I see you freak to the beat. As Eric Beek stated, don't sweat the technique. My lyrics will stand the test of time. Working the crowd with my rhyme. Now it's time to get to the show. Bringing the info so you know it's a podcast built to last. The podcast, we're having a blast. It's a podcast built to last. The podcast, we're having a blast. If you want history, check 1 and 2. All the episodes have something new. From the front to the back or the bottom to the top. The episodes deliver from the knowledge we drop. The cap is the rhyme and I am the rhythm. Like the defense, we are gonna hit them. With the fun facts and the skull jam. The real deal will continue to rant. Cap brings Hawks news to the show. Never losing sight, keeping the flow. The blue and the emerald green. Cap will tell you who's on the scene. Delivering hits on game day. The bam bam moment for today. It's the podcast built to last. The podcast, we're having a blast. Another episode is in the books. Keeping it real with the hooks. Tune in again later next week to hear more from the streets. Bringing the news for our teams. Nothing's off limit, so it seems. Thanks for hanging, checking us out. We'll be back, there is no doubt.
All right. Heading us out. Scolders, 12s,
What's up?
and all the football
Fanatics.
Thank you. Thanks for tuning into the podcast today for our Week 9-10 recap and our Week 11 preview. Tell your friends, families, and coworkers about the show and have them tune in and subscribe. By the way, we got some new subscribers from
Come
my
on.
trip to Aruba.
Welcome.
That will follow the show. Week 11 for the Vikes is a home game versus the Cowboys. Cowpokes. We got to lasso those boys
That's a big
in.
rivalry.
Next episode will be the Week 11 recap for our teams. So the cap is on. The Seahawks are on a bye. The Vikes need to keep on keeping on, and we're going to bring you another fantastic voyage next week. Cap, as you always do, bring us home.
Thank you, my brother. And thank you for joining us on this truly fantastic voyage. We love what we do, and we love doing it with you. So thank you for being here. To the Scolders, Forget the drama. Forget the media. Lock in. Get yours. Regardless, go get yours.
Skull!
They didn't give you that trophy that you earned. It's still in Green Bay, so go get busy. Hats off to the Skull Nation. Proud of y'all. Seahawks fans, we're not playing with this week. We still got work to do, but if you need a game to check out, go watch the Montana State Grizzlies host the Montana Grizzlies in Bozeman, Montana. College rivalry game, the Brawl of the Wild. Montana State Bobcats are 9-1, but it won't be right unless we cap it with a victory over the Grizzlies. So y'all go get that W, you young Bobcats. These old Bobcats out here going to be watching.
Exactly.
So it is what it is, my brother. We'll be back for the double up next week. The Emerald Nation and the Hawks. It was a tale of 2 weeks, 2 methods, one good, one not so good, but it's okay. We represent it in Germany, back in the country. Together we do this thing, my brother. Let's go. Love y'all. Peace.
Skull, baby, skull! Both teams still in the hunt.
Emerald up every day. Don't miss a day.